Hey guys, I'm excited today. Why am I excited about a cloudy, gloomy day, you ask? Well, because the snow is gone, which means baseball is back and summer is right around the corner. So with that being said, here are my 2021 MLB predictions for the year. Enjoy. I'll start with the American League and the East Division. Down one spot from last year's standings is the Baltimore Orioles. They did gain Freddie Galvis, but I think they are going to have a very difficult season still this year. Up one spot from last season is the Boston Red Sox. Their key pickup was Enrique Hernandez, while their biggest loss was Jackie Bradley Jr. They should improve upon their 2020 record, but I do not see them contending this year. Next is the Toronto Blue Jays. They picked up Steven Matz, a Tyler Chatwood that pitched a lot better last season for the Cubs, and George Springer. I think they will be right in the middle of the wild card race and could be second in the division. Down a spot is the Tampa Bay Rays. The 2020 overachievers gained Michael Wacha, Rich Hill, and got back Chris Archer, while losing Blake Snell and Charlie Morton. I find it hard to believe they can win the division 2 years in a row, though. Up one spot from 2020, no surprise, is the New York Yankees. They added Corey Kluber to the rotation, and I think the only thing to hold them back would be injuries, which very well could happen with injury-prone players like Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge. Over to the Central Division and the Detroit Tigers. I think they've only gotten worse in the offseason, and like the Orioles in the East, I don't think they will contend. The Kansas City Royals got Michael Wacha, Carlos Santana, and Jared Dyson after parting ways with longtime outfielder Alex Gordon. I think they are headed in the right direction, but they are not there yet. The Cleveland Indians went backwards this offseason, losing Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco, and Carlos Santana without any notable pickups. I still feel they have enough to be in the wild card chase, though. The Chicago White Sox added Lance Lynn to their rotation. This young and talented team will be in the division race all year long. I see a lot of the same from the Minnesota Twins. They should be a playoff team this year. That makes the central standings the same as last year. That brings us to the American League West Division. At the bottom is the Texas Rangers, a team that finished last in the division last year, lost more talent than they gained in the offseason. They still need a lot of work. Down a spot is the Seattle Mariners. No flashy adds or subtractions for this team. They will be about the same as last year. Up a spot is the Los Angeles Angels. A team managed by Joe Madden should get better in his second year and first full season. They've added Alex Cobb and Kurt Suzuki. The familiarity with Dexter Fowler and Jose Quintana should be good fits for this team as well. At number 2 is the Houston Astros. They gained Jake Odorizzi, but I think the loss of George Springer is going to affect how the lineup is pitched. They were very unimpressive last year, but could battle for the division if they play to their potential. Number 1 is the Oakland Athletics, narrowly beating out the Astros for the crown. A lot of offseason moves, but a lot of the same type of team from these guys. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Disagree? Hit me up in the comments with all your thoughts. The National League. I have a lot of movement in the National League East. Down 3 spots from last year is the Miami Marlins. They overachieved with a shortened season. With all 162 games scheduled this year, we should see what kind of team they really have. Down a spot is the Philadelphia Phillies. Bringing in Chase Anderson, Matt Moore, and Archie Bradley should help, but they are in a tough division. Up 2 spots is the Washington Nationals. Dave Martinez brings in some veterans he is familiar with in John Lester and Kyle Schwarber, as well as Josh Bell from the Pirates. If injuries and COVID don't hit them again this year, they will be a better team than last season. Up 2 spots, the New York Mets, and hard not to pick at number 1. They might have been the most active during this offseason, adding Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco, James McCann, Jose Martinez, and Kevin Pillar, while trading away Steven Matz and parting ways with Yoenis Cespedes. They may need some time to gel together, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took the division. At the top spot in the East is the Atlanta Braves. Notables are adding Charlie Morton and losing Mark Melancon and Adeiny Echeverria. They have so much young talent and are going to be hard to keep off the scoreboard this season. Should be a fun team to watch. In the National League Central, the Pittsburgh Pirates are my worst team in the league this year. Not doing much to better the team this offseason. They will try to spoil teams' hopes of not being swept each series. I don't see much from them at all. Down a spot is the St. Louis Cardinals. A team that has prided themselves on defense and fundamentals has gotten away from that. Perhaps that is why they got the best defensive third baseman in Nolan Arenado. Is that enough to counter what they lost, though? Down a spot is the Cincinnati Reds. This is hard because I really do think they are trending in the right direction. They are not going to be able to replicate a Cy Young performance as they got last year, though. Up 2 spots is the Milwaukee Brewers. They parted ways with Corey Knebel and Ryan Braun, but picked up Colton Wong and Jackie Bradley Jr. Will Christian Yelich have another MVP-type season this year as well? At the top spot is the Chicago Cubs. They have made wholesale changes, trading away Yu Darvish and Victor Caratini for Zach Davies. John Lester, Kyle Schwarber, Jose Quintana, and a very good glove in Albert Almora are all gone as well. They picked up Jock Peterson, who was their biggest acquisition, and fan favorite Jake Arrieta returns. I think this is the year that the Cubs consistently score runs and don't have to win every game by 1 run. Finishing in the National League West, we have down a spot the Colorado Rockies. They got prospects for Nolan Arenado, but nothing to help them out now. Up a spot is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They picked up veterans Asdrubal Cabrera and Tyler Clippard, but that isn't enough for them to compete this year. The San Francisco Giants got Alex Wood, Anthony DeSclafani, and utility fielder Tommy La Stella. They don't have enough to compete with the Dodgers or Padres, though. The San Diego Padres are in full contender mode, bolstering their pitching staff with Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and Mark Melancon. They could keep the division tight this season. And at the top spot is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They did lose Enrique Hernandez, Jock Peterson, and Alex Wood, but they countered that with the Cy Young winning Trevor Bauer and closer Corey Knebel. They are so deep and on paper the best team in the league. That brings us to our playoff teams. The second wild card spot, record-wise I had a tie with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Chicago White Sox. The Cleveland Indians were also in the mix, only 1 game behind. I could see a play-in game between the Blue Jays and the White Sox, or either of these teams winning by 1 game. The first wild card spot is the Tampa Bay Rays. The number 3 seed, Oakland Athletics. Number 2, Minnesota Twins. And the top spot in the American League is the New York Yankees. The National League second wild card team, I have the New York Mets. The first wild card spot with the second best record in the league is the San Diego Padres. 3 seed is the Chicago Cubs. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves. And the top seed, Los Angeles Dodgers. Did your team make the playoffs? Who do you have? Comment me with your picks. If you don't want to miss out on my bold predictions, subscribe and be the first to see.